You're listening to Big Blend Radio's Cooking with Ruth show, featuring Ruth Milstein, author of the Gourmand award-winning recipe book, Cooking with Love, Ventures into the New Israeli Cuisine. Welcome, everybody. It is World Baking Day. So Ruth Milstein, of course, is here. You know, it is the third Sunday, and she is going to teach us how to make her special brownie recipe. And not only do we all love brownies, but this is a gluten-free chocolate brownie recipe. And it's really different because she also adds some texture to it using poppy seeds. So this, we could say, is a happy chocolate brownie recipe. But welcome back, Ruth. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. This is different because it's gluten-free, and you're also using dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is healthier for us, isn't it?
Very healthy and less calorie.
Oh.
So we can eat more.
You know, a friend of ours, it was Nancy's birthday a week ago, and a friend
Happy
of ours,
birthday.
I know, she says hello and she says thank you. She's sitting there going, yes. She had her friend, she has the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast, Karen. Because she loves to bake and she makes brownies usually for her guests, but she tried a new recipe on Nancy for her birthday, and it was a dark chocolate bundt cake. Very light, it was so good because it wasn't overly sweet. Because if it's too sweet, I think it doesn't.
It's supposed to be, not over, exactly how it's supposed to be, yes.
Yeah, you still get that sweetness, but not, it was good, Ruth. It was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then her husband, Steve, makes beer. He is a brew master. And he made a chocolate stout beer that we call the Dirty Godiva. So anyway, but he used, when he was brewing this chocolate stout, and they kept it for us for a few months because we were not in Asheville, where their bed and breakfast is. And it's a chocolate stout with, he had habanero peppers that he added to it. So, when, we talk wine with you and Howard, Nancy and I, and you and Howard talk wine, Nancy's always, it's peppery on the back end. Well, this beer was peppery on the back end. It was so good. It was like the pairing was phenomenal because it wasn't too sweet, the chocolate cake. The beer had a little sweet, like just that subtle sweetness. And at the end, a little pepper. Oh, Ruth, it was so good. So
really?
Because not many people bake with dark chocolate. It's always sweet chocolate.
No,
sweet,
I
sweet,
know.
sweet.
It's easy. It's easy for them.
Oh, I see.
They think it's bitter, but it's not. It's not bitter, really. They think it's bitter.
No, it's light.
They think the children won't eat it. But it's not
that's
true.
not true. Well, what I love about this recipe of yours, and everyone, the recipe is on blendradioandtv.com. Just type in brownies or Ruth's brownies, and you'll see it there. And I've got it linked in the show notes, and also Ruth's website, ruthmilstein.com. That's where you can get her Gourmand award-winning recipe book, Cooking with Love, Ventures into the New Israeli Cuisine. This recipe is actually very healthy. And so you've got dark chocolate. You're cooking with olive oil. You've got eggs, honey. So your sweetness is coming from that. You also use natural applesauce. You've got poppy seeds in there. So we may end up in the Wizard of Oz. I don't know. You've got cocoa powder, a little baking soda. This is all pretty healthy and it seems easy to do. So, olive oil, that's something else that I know some people know to bake with. That's a healthier way to bake with olive oil, right?
You can fry it with olive oil, but not deep. You can fry it. You can fry your omelet. It's okay.
Okay. But to bake.
This is what I do.
You
bake also.
You bake it and then you use honey, and then the applesauce, is that used to kind of combine everything? Does that kind of give it the moistness?
Moistness, and for the children, they need it.
They want sweet.
So
that adds. They want that little
touch it. It's all healthy there. There's things that it's healthy, so they have to eat it also. Otherwise, you won't touch it. You will buy
Mm.
you will buy something from outside. You don't know how many years it's sitting in the store.
Okay. So you want to have this nice and soft, and I think the poppy seeds give some texture too. So
Yeah.
you take the
And color.
chocolate, oh, the color too. Color's good.
Mm.
The color's good. You say you microwave the chocolate in the oil just for a few seconds so that it kind of becomes a mixture.
Yes.
So you're getting the dark
Yes.
bars of chocolate. Is it dark chocolate chips or like do they come in bars to get the dark chocolate?
In bar.
Okay. And then you say
Bar
in
is
a
it?
second boil, you whip the eggs for just a minute and then you add the honey and the applesauce together. So you do that and then you add the chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, so this is pretty easy. And then you do the
Always the
pop.
egg is in the beginning. The egg is in the beginning.
Okay. Make sure
Before.
it's
Yeah.
okay. And when you do the
Okay.
poppy seed, so you grind the poppy seed. So do you buy it ground or do you grind it yourself like in a
I buy
coffee
it
grinder?
ground. I buy it
Oh,
ground from place that I know that he sell a lot and it's fresh. And don't be shy. Don't be just to ask him to taste it.
mm,
They'll be happy. They'll be happy to give it to you because if you taste it, you buy it.
yeah, that's right. If it's good,
Yeah.
if you like it, Well, if you don't have poppy seeds near you, what else could you use? Would you use something different like nuts, seeds?
Oh yes, yes. Oh, I use sometime. Those fruit. Fruit that is they dry them and they cut them small pieces like you. Okay, in my area they have it. In New York also they have it. Small fruit that they dry them with
Oh, the fruit,
sugar
like
and
dried
after they
fruit,
cut it.
like
Dry fruit,
orange.
yes, actually, you can use it. Yeah, orange or almost all the fruits. All the fruits.
Okay.
The sweet fruit. Yes, you can use them. Absolutely, you can use them because
Okay.
it
And
gives
then,
also moisture. It gives
yes.
moisture.
Oh, that's good.
And it's very tasty. Very tasty.
What about, could you use something like sunflower seeds or anything like that?
Sunflower is going to be very tasty also, but let it um cook it, put it in the I put it in for like 1-2 minutes or less, depends the amount. I try on the on the I don't like eat it straight from the store. So I want to
Oh,
warm it up a little bit.
oh,
Yeah,
so you
it's
kind of
different
roast
taste,
them.
different. Yeah, roast them, but very very little. So different taste,
Okay.
different taste, different taste
Oh,
completely.
mm. I used to do that with pepitas, the pumpkin seeds. I like
Yes, yes.
I like
Yeah.
those. Those are always good. Well, this is cool because and what about walnuts or almonds? Could you use those?
Why not? Why not?
Mm. I
Whatever
think
you want, but
walnuts and
everything
brownies. Ooh, walnuts
fresh,
and
fresh.
brownies.
Everything fresh is good. Everything
Mm,
is fresh. Brownies always I put something. I put something.
mm.
Put nuts.
You
It's,
know
it's,
what else
it's
people
also
put in brownies, Ruth?
yes,
You know what else people
yes.
put in brownies? I'm just saying. Keep those ones away from your children. You need to have a separate section in your refrigerator for the brownies for the adults. I'm just saying, those naughty brownies, Ruth. People get happy
Yes.
brownies. Yes. So, and that's made with a different kind of butter. And I've never done it before. That's why I know how. But just you've got to keep those away from the kids. But you could go to a kids party, bring the brownies, the healthy brownies for the kids, and the adults could be on the other side with their brownies. But do not mix them up.
No, don't. It's too different.
Yes, and
Different.
and
Always
you
do brownie. It's fresher.
I got
You
myself
know.
in trouble with a brownie once that I didn't know it was that kind of brownie. And we were doing this is back when we had our band in San Diego, and we were
Yes.
doing a New Year's Eve party.
Uh-huh.
And this lady,
Mm.
retired lady, Ruth, She had gray
Uh-huh.
hair. She was like a granny. She came up. She says,
Uh-huh.
and this was a horse trailer, it was a horse event. All the horse riders came with their horses and they were
Yes.
riding. And
Uh-huh.
so she's like, oh, I baked my famous RV brownies in her RV. And she went around the band and handed us all brownies. And we're like, oh, that's really sweet of you. Thank you, because we thought it was dessert. And then our
Yes.
band started playing again. We were taking a break and we were doing our final set. And then we all realized that those were not innocent brownies. And it was a very interesting rest of the evening. That's all I can tell you. I had no
The
clue.
ticket over
That's
there.
that's
It's over there.
funny,
Yeah.
but you should actually be very careful with that. I'm just saying, because you
This
may
is what I
think it's
want to
funny.
say. You have to be
You
careful. You have to be
don't
careful.
don't
Yeah.
um don't sneak the naughty brownies to people who don't know, because you never know what their reaction could be. But
And the
nothing bad
driving
happened.
after.
Well,
Yeah,
no
the
one was
driving
driving.
after.
No one was driving. Everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a good thing. Everybody was there and camping and everything, but it was pretty magical,
Mm-hmm.
I will say. We got to see the stars seemed a little brighter that night. I'm just saying. And everybody seemed pretty relaxed. And I think this was when we had Y2K. I think it was that New Year's. Remember Y2K, Ruth, where we all thought we were
Yes.
going to end up
Yes.
living on our own farms and go back to
Yes.
chiseling on a rock.
Yeah, I saw
And
it in the movies. Yeah.
yeah, remember the Y2K. Oh my gosh. And everybody thought we better buy peanut butter powder and hide everything because, the world's going to end kind of thing. And then nothing happened. And we were like, what? Well, that's boring. Nothing happened. But if we do have these kinds of situations, it's always good to have brownies in the freezer so you can grab them and have brownies. In bad
Yeah.
situations, brownies are the best thing to have by your side. Don't you think? Always have
Yeah.
wine and always have
Yes.
brownies.
Yes. And this is the first thing that I learned to bake for my sister when
Really?
I was
So,
a teenager. Yeah, she taught me. She taught me to bake it. Yeah, she taught me how
well,
to bake. Because my
this is
mom
very
did
easy.
everything. She baked, she cooked. So my sister, she's older than me. She taught me how to bake, and it was brownies. It
Well,
was
listen,
brownies.
you know what? That's a great start because it's something that's sweet. It's exciting for kids to learn. Baking is scientific. So it's really cool to do for kids to learn, how to bake, and don't slam the oven door and learn a little science. But this is an easy recipe for all of us. And so really you're just mixing things in little bowls, and then eventually you put it all together and put it in a Pyrex pan and bake for 350 degrees for 25 minutes.
Yes,
But
that's all. Yeah, it's
that's
very
it.
fast. Yeah,
And then you say that you
yeah,
put a wooden skewer in the center and it must come out clean. And if it's not, then you keep it back in the oven, right?
yeah, yeah. And watch it. And watch it.
Yeah. And don't slam the oven door.
Just watch it.
No
No.
slamming. And is it true that when you're doing this, the amounts, the ingredients, when you bake,
It
have to
moves
be
also. When you slam it, it moves. Something moved there also.
but you have to
You have to
keep it
leave it.
exact, right? You can't
Yes, yes.
keep it exact in baking because of the science. And if you don't, that's when things start to sink. And
Right.
like this to make it. Have you ever made a souffle, Ruth?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
yes.
That's it. That you have to get it down straight. Like you can't, there'll be no banging around in the kitchen. The house must be quiet if you're going to bake a souffle. Otherwise, they fall so quickly, easily. I'd rather do the brownies than a
With
souffle.
baking, you have to be serious because you have ingredients exactly. You have to weigh everything. You have to
Yeah.
be serious. With the other cooking is different. But for baking, you have to be serious, really. If you can't do that, don't do that. Study or do something that you know. But this one, I think, is the first thing. For me, it's the first time that I baked. My sister, she taught me. We baked together, and since then, I started baking more. My mom used to bake a lot. Yes, but my sister taught me. I was teenagers, very, very young. And it
Sweet
was
though. This recipe.
this is the first one. This recipe is the first one from my
Wow.
sister.
Wow,
Yes.
that's really cool. And then,
Yeah.
so you do that, and then, you get this recipe that's like now a family recipe. So did your mom make this recipe and then teach your sister?
Oh, I believe so. Everything be from my mom. Everything from my mom. But
Oh,
my
that's
mom, she
awesome.
used to bake things that I can't even imagine how she did it. So many. The recipe is so long, and she remember everything.
Oh, wow. Wow.
She remember everything, and
Well,
everything it
maybe
was
because
at
she did a
home.
lot, you know?
Yes, yes. That time, yes,
I think,
I did
it
everything.
sounds interesting, but busy moms, sometimes when you do, we always think cooking can be a hassle, but sometimes it's a break that you get to have to,
Yes,
maybe the kids are at school and
sure.
you can bake something and it's kind of meditational. You kind of have this method, method, method to it. It's just mythology. It's not mythology. It's methodical, to be able to do, don't you
Yes,
think?
yes. You're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. But mom has to encourage the children to cook. It's okay if it didn't come right. It's okay if you bake it didn't come right. I mean, this is what my mom told me. If it didn't come right, it's okay. Next time, going to be better.
Yeah. And
You
you
agree?
learn.
Yeah,
You learn.
you
You learn
learn.
from your
Yes,
mistakes. And sometimes
yeah.
mistakes create new recipes, you know?
You're right.
So
100%
I
you're right. 100%.
Nancy Nancy said to me, if I ever made a cookbook, it would be called, well, this is going to be interesting. Because every time I cook for Nancy, I say to her, well, this is going to be interesting. Well, here's something new. And then she says to me, well, it's going to be interesting. I said, yes. So she said, that's going to be my cookbook title. This is going to be interesting. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's like, uh-oh, we got to fix it. Or because, we sometimes you really do have to throw away a mistake. And I hate that because of food
So
waste,
what? So what?
well,
I
because
mean,
of food waste.
okay. What is choice?
But,
What is choice?
but, but if you can fix it and turn it into another recipe, that's pretty cool. Like, it's like, okay, maybe the cake is flat. So
So
that's why
what?
we have
Yes.
ice cream.
But you learn from that. White flat.
Yeah, and
You
then it
learn
becomes a
from that.
cookie. Then you go, okay.
Yes.
Then you take it, if like your brownies came out flat, right? You just take them out of the dish, take like a round thing and make it like small, like a little disc, put it in a little bowl, like, or not a bowl, and put like, maybe do like a double cake thing or something and put ice cream on top. Just put ice cream on everything and no one will know. And if it was hard, if you burned it, put ice cream on that because it'll soak up and it'll make it
Yes.
unhard. Don't you think? That's
Mm-hmm.
my way. Like
Yes.
that just
Yes.
put ice
Yes.
cream on
I
all of
agree.
it.
I agree. I
Ice
agree.
cream, whipped
I agree.
cream, sauce. What about sauce? You could make a sauce to fix things too, you know? Like
Absolutely.
you could
Absolutely.
do a sauce. Do you ever make icing to go on your brownies?
Yes. Yes.
That's
My
good.
father used to make ice cream. My father
Oh,
used to make ice cream.
like icing, like
In
not
that
ice
time, they
cream.
didn't have, and
Hmm.
Lisa, this time they didn't have all the tools to make ice cream. But he
Mm,
managed how to do that.
that's
He
amazing.
managed to do that. And we called it ice cream chewing gum. But it
Oh,
was
like,
ice cream, real ice cream. Really ice cream.
oh wow. So you made ice
Yes.
cream without having like the ice cream maker, but you have to really
No,
whip.
they didn't have maker. They didn't have maker at the time.
Yeah. So did he have to whip eggs or did he cook the eggs
Yes.
first? I mean, kind of make a custard
No, you
ice
have to
cream
whip
then.
it. Whip it. Not with mixer. Not with mixer. Yeah, that the whipper. He used to do it.
Oh,
Yes.
you whip
Yeah.
it good. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is to just, you've got to, I love it when there's something that you just don't know what you're going to be cooking that day.
What
And
you going to get? What you going to get?
Yeah, it's fun.
You know
It's
what you're
art.
doing, but you don't know what to get again.
I know
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why it's interesting. It's like, okay, this is what we
yeah,
have. Let's see if these ingredients go together or not. And sometimes they really don't. And if they don't, just, don't try to eat something bad. And it's not good to eat burned food. You can try and sometimes save it, because of the carcinogens. It's not great to eat burned food, but sometimes I love, like, when you have raisin toast, I want it just a
yes,
little bit burned. I want
little bit
those
burn. Yeah,
raisins
yeah.
caramelized. I want just a little, not fully burned, just a little burned.
Hmm.
And you can put ice cream on that too. Thank you very much. I, is it ice cream month, Ruth? I want ice cream now. But ice cream on brownies is the best. It is. It
Oh
is.
yes, but you have to eat it immediately. Yes, you have to eat it immediately on
Oh,
brownies.
but
Yes,
but if you
and the
take the
color is
brownies,
neat. It's,
the
yes.
you take the brownies out of the oven and they're still hot, then you put the icing on it, so it's like that
Oh
frozen
my
and heat
God. Yes.
together, right? Hmm.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
heaven.
and
It's heaven.
brownies with a really good cup of coffee. I mean, I like my wine, so
I'm
it's really going to
there.
be wine,
I'm there with
but
you.
coffee and brownies. Oh, what about putting can you put coffee in the brownie? Like, can you bake this and
Yeah, I
add
do that. I do that.
you do?
I do
Would
that.
you,
And
so do
yeah,
you
and
brew the
children can eat.
coffee?
Children can eat it. Yeah,
Okay, so if you're
yeah,
going to put a little coffee into the brownie,
little.
you don't put ground coffee. Do you take you make the coffee like you'd make a cup of coffee and just splash a little in,
Yes,
or,
yes, yes.
oh,
The
or you
the
could
taste
have
is
coffee.
completely different, and they're going to ask, "What did you put? What did you put? What did you put?" I said, "I
Mm.
put fresh. That's all."
Oh, it's going to have that roasted taste to it, if you do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, tried it. I tried it. It's good. It's good.
This is so exciting. You could take this recipe and do all kinds of things to it. Nancy will
Yeah.
want to put rum. She wants to put rum or brandy or bourbon into it. You could do it a little
Yes.
bit. Why not?
Very little. Very little. Yeah.
Well,
Otherwise, it go over. Otherwise, it's going to go over the chocolate for
Nancy,
too
Ruth
much.
says you're only allowed to put a little bit of rum and bourbon in the brownies.
But not too
She,
much.
she, she says, well, then she could have a drink on the side. Oh, but you know what I know?
Yeah.
Bourbon goes really well with brownies. Bourbon. And also tequila goes really well with brownies. There's a thing about tequila and chocolate. And the dark chocolate with
Mm-hmm.
tequila is good. And then there's cognac. I think it's the king of it all, cognac. And you can put the cognac in your coffee with the brownies. But now it's not
Uh-huh.
winter. Yeah, so what does this become, a boozy chocolate festival on the show? Well, you can have a glass of wine while you're baking, can't you? You're allowed to do that. And
Yes,
have a nice.
yes, you can. You can. You can.
Okay. I
But
have
you have just to be aware. You have to be aware,
don't
how much you drink.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
forget you use
Yeah.
knife and all this stuff.
Don't forget the
And you
oven,
use oven also. The most important is you using oven
Oh,
to
did I
bake.
tell
To
you
bake.
that
You have to.
I burned myself in the oven? I think the last time, I don't know if I told you that the last time we talked. I
Mhm.
think it was after the show.
Yes,
I made a pizza and put it in the
yes.
oven, but what I didn't do is didn't look where the rack was, and I just put it in there, not looking. Yes, wine was
Mm-hmm.
involved. And and then I couldn't get it out because the pizza was too big for what I did, and I put it in the wrong rack and I couldn't get it out. So I was trying to do tongs, and somehow I burnt my hands, I burnt my arm, I burnt myself. And so our friends that,
Oh,
we were pet
just
sitting
so.
for, she comes home and she looks at me. She goes, Lisa, do you see this tool next to the oven? This is the tool that brings the grates out. There's like things that you use to actually pull the grill out so you don't burn yourself. Because I got them pizza from they were flying home from Europe. And so I wanted to make sure they had food in case they were hungry, because you never know with airplanes anymore. And so she took me through and gave me a lesson on ovens. And sometimes you need these very basic lessons that we forget about because there are tools to just pull it's not, you don't always use the gloves. That can mess you up because the gloves weren't fitting. You would end up touching the actual burner in the oven, the actual coil thing.
You have
And
to be
that's not
careful.
good. No. So she's like, there's just this tool that just drags it out. Look at this. And then apparently I was using the wrong thing for the pizza. Anyway, I learned, and it hurt, but I learned. So yeah, wine doesn't always go well if you drink too much in the kitchen, but especially with baking, but a little sip or two is good. So you put this in
is okay. Once it is
a little
okay.
bit.
Just be, yes.
So you say to store these, because you say you take it out of the oven and you cover it with aluminum foil, let it sit for half an hour before slicing the cake, unless we are putting ice cream on it. That's different. But
Yes, this is.
you said we could freeze this. Is it best to freeze it wrapped in
Yes.
aluminum foil? What's the
Yes.
best way?
I put it with aluminum foil, and after I wrap it with nylon also, something else.
Nylon?
Yeah.
Like
I
stockings?
take a plastic. No, not stacking, not stacking. Like no, like bag. I call it nylon. It's made for nylon. It's like a shopping bag or something.
I know what you
One,
mean.
thin one.
Yeah,
That's what we
the
call it.
cling wrap.
Yeah.
Cling wrap.
Yeah.
The clear stuff, the
This
plasticky
one
stuff.
really wrap it completely. You didn't get any
Yeah.
drop of water or something. Nothing. You didn't get nothing. And when you open it, and after you warm it up, like you just baked it.
You know what? And that's true. When you take something like this and you heat it up, put a little warm butter on it, real butter.
Really?
You know?
I didn't try it. I will.
Melted butter on something like this. And look, I'm weird. Okay. So this is where it gets interesting. You can take brownies if you don't have icing on them, but you could if you have a toaster oven. Okay. So for the second journey of the brownies, you make the first batch. It's all fresh and lovely. But once you freeze it, it's going to a different stage and a different level.
Yes.
Bring it out.
Yes.
And this especially works if your brownies go stale or if you're, I'm telling you, I'm weird. So, if your brownies got a little
send them
burnt,
to heaven.
Yeah, this is the thing. You've got, if they're burned a little bit or dried out how you cooked them or whatever, or it's the second wave, take them out. And you can do this with cake. It's weird. Toast it a little bit.
Yes.
Depending, but not with icing. I've never done this with anything with icing. Toast it or like fry it in butter, like not fry, but like kind of, this sounds weird, but real butter, salted butter, not that unsalted butter thing that's just a sin. But salted butter, a little melted butter on a brownie on the second wave. If it's not like a super sweet brownie, your brownie's like what you're talking about, it would be ideal. It is. It's like a good muffin with melted. Have you ever done muffins this way? Where you toast the muffin, cut it open, toast it a little bit.
Muffins stay fresh for a long time.
Yeah, and then if you put like a nice thing of butter on a muffin, a hot muffin, dude, it's like a whole other experience. So you can take a stale muffin and rejuvenate this baby with butter and toast a little bit so it's got a little crunch on the outside. So now you don't know it was stale because a little bit of moist with the butter. This is what a toaster oven is really good at. It's very good. It's very good. And then you could make a muffin top and play Seinfeld if you want.
Yes? Oh, I will try it.
It's always good to just take what you have and go, I wonder if, and see. It is just, and if it didn't work, oh, well, you tried. But I've had, it's just like
food.
Sometimes you've just got something and you're like, I don't want to go to the store right now. I'm busy. So be creative. It's fun. But
I look to the freezer. I look to the freezer, what we have, what we can mix together. And many times I create a new recipe.
Exactly.
When I thought I don't have anything.
It's hard to create a new baking recipe. I think that's the hard one.
Baking, it's different. Baking is to be exact.
Mm-hmm. Except for you've got some things in here we can play around with, like the poppy seeds, and you can add a little coffee.
Except chocolate cake for children.
Yes, but okay. So now I wanted to ask you this for more. A little orange with this, like you were talking about. Take dried oranges and slice them up like really nice and fine. In here would be delicious because dark chocolate and orange.
Orange goes with this cake.
And dark chocolate, orange, and almonds. That's even better. But I can't eat almonds anymore. But no one cares about that. But that is a wonderful combination. But I wanted to ask you.
Eat it.
I'm allergic to almonds now.
You're allergic.
You get old and then you have sensitivities to things you never had. I'm not 100% allergic, but I don't push it. If something's not going to go well, then why not? I don't want to feel bad. I got too much stuff to do. I don't want to feel sick. But I want to ask you about this. So we talk about the orange, right? Well, dark chocolate and sea salt is one of the most important combinations of the planet. So with brownies, that would be a little weird to add salt to it, wouldn't it? Unless you did it as like a frosting.
Very, very little. So people are going to ask you, what did you add? They won't really pinpoint to the salt. So try with very, very little. Very little. That they're going to suspect you will like scratch,
Mm-hmm.
And try to play with them.
Ruth, is the tasting game. What's in this?
You got some ingredient from Zimbabwe. Okay?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, listen, what about cardamom? What about cardamom?
I love cardamom. Yeah.
With chocolate. I know that sounds weird, but it sounds good to me.
Go together. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Ooh.
Fresh chocolate. I see so much chocolate in the stores. I don't even touch it. I don't know.
You know what's happening right now? You know what, Ruth? There's a box of chocolate-covered cherries here, and I'm going to go eat one now because I can't stand all this chocolate top ice cream.
Chocolate is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate is healthy. Once you eat it, you're going to eat less today.
Well, I have a dog that takes me on walks in the woods, up hills, down hills, up hills again, so I think I'm allowed.
You're allowed 100%.
Yes.
At least you eat something healthy, not,
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Chocolate is good.
I love it when
it's not full of sugar.
Well, and everyone, next week we're going to be talking about something to do with fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables, which is Ruth's favorite thing. Every time there's not one. I mean, Ruth has been on Big Blend Radio for years, and I don't remember one episode ever with when she has not said fresh. I think that's it with you. You're just like, whatever it is, it's got to be fresh. Period.
If they don't have it, don't buy it.
Oh, period.
Next door, you don't have it, don't buy it. Maybe it's not the season. Maybe they don't have it. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe the owner, they didn't want to even to bring it to the store because he thinks that nobody will buy it, or they buy only 20%, the rest is going to throw away, or to sell it for everything. Now it's give and take. Everything is money. He sells 20%, the rest he has to sell it like under what he paid, and it's not. He's businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Businessman. Yes.
Yep.
So buy everything that's available fresh.
I love it. I love it. Ruth, well, happy World Baking Day to you. And thank you for everyone for listening and enjoying World Baking Day. And I know World Baking Day is today as this airs, but you know what? We say World Baking Day is any day that you want it to be. So enjoy this anytime. And again, the recipe is linked in the show notes. So is Ruth's website, ruthmilstein.com. And don't forget to go get her book as well. Thank you so much, Ruth. It was fun and yummy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And
thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Cooking with Love show featuring Ruth Milstein. Keep up with Ruth and her recipes and her books at ruthmilstein.com. You can also keep up with Big Blend Radio at bigblendradio.com.